Hi, my name is Jason Malnion, and today I'd like to show you a new method of installing the automation broker in your OpenShift cluster. So OpenShift 3.10 has a new flag when you do OC cluster up and is -- enable. If you run it without giving any options to the -- enable flag, you can see in the output that there are a number of options. Until recently, this was stuff like image streams, persistent volumes, the registry, router, service catalog, template service broker, web console, and so on. Most recently, we were able to add the automation service broker flag. So if you want to install the automation broker, really all you have to do is make sure you have the service catalog. You can add the automation service broker option, and then for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to add the web console here. So you run this, and it's going to kick off the cluster. So what's actually happening here is most of the code lies in this file under the cluster add components. And probably the most interesting bit of this is we have here a couple of templates that are going to be run to kick off the process. And if you look at the first one, this is the actual install template. It's going to just create a service count for our job to run as, and then it's going to create a job that's going to run our automation broker APB. The other template is the RBAC template, which is going to create a cluster role binding. So when you look at the automation broker APB, this is where most of the logic for installing the automation broker is. And if you look at the tasks, it's basically a bunch of Ansible that's going to create a bunch of resources. These will be the service count, cluster role bindings, the config map, all that type of stuff for the broker. So the entire process takes about 2 minutes. Going back to the code, what we have here is a wait condition when we come up. And basically all it's waiting for is for the job to complete successfully for the automation broker APB. And at that point, the broker should be coming up. So if we come back, we're probably still going to have to wait for a moment. You can see that the templates are being applied for the different options that we requested. Okay, so we're up and running now. The OC cluster up is completed. So I'm just, for sake of being able to see things, I'm going to log in as system admin. You can see that we have a new OpenShift automation service broker project. So if I do OC get pods on this project, you can see that we have the broker deploying. It'll take a moment for it to be ready, although at this point I would guess that it's probably up. Yep, so it's up and waiting. What's happening is that there's a delay on the health check for, I think, 2 minutes. So once that time passes by, the broker will be up and the service catalog will start speaking to it. And here you can see is the actual job container that has completed successfully. And you can actually look at the logs on this, and what you'll see is a bunch of Ansible tasks. Really, that's all there is to it. You can see that it's checking to make sure the service catalog is installed, that the broker namespace exists, creates a bunch of resources, does a bunch of work for certificates to ensure that they're installed and created properly. And that's about it. So now, going back, if we log into the UI, Okay, here we go. Now it took a minute for the service catalog to read in the data from the broker. What we have here is all of our APBs from the automation broker loaded in the UI. And from this point, it should be possible to provision and really do it whatever you want and work with the automation broker like you would in any other cluster. And that concludes the demo. Thank you.